Welcome to the Happy Workaholic podcast. I'm your host, Kellyanne Gorman. Over the past 20 years, I've worked in beauty, luxury, corporate, and service-driven industries. I created the opportunity in these careers and in my own businesses that allowed me to travel the world, experience once-in-a-lifetime events, and build brands while providing my expertise to clients all around the globe. Life is short, and when you're given a second chance, you better believe I'm going to take it, celebrate it, and share it with you. This show is intended to elevate your mind, upgrade your business, enhance your life, and become part of a positive and uplifting community. If you're ready to take your business and life to that next level you deserve to be at, this is the show for you. Inspiration, motivation, and determination are what got me to where I am today. Tune in every week to hear from myself, other entrepreneurs, professional patients, small business owners, and fellow podcasters who will be featured on the show. I'm here to remind you to work hard, share your story, follow your dreams, and never, ever give up. Thanks for taking the time to subscribe to the Happy Workaholic podcast. Today's episode starts now.
COVID-19, better known as coronavirus, has spread throughout the world. There are a few ways to help lower the spread of this respiratory disease. Wash your hands. Avoid touching your face, including mouth, nose, and eyes. Cover your coughs and sneezes. Monitor your symptoms and consult with your doctor. Stay at home and away from other sick people except for medical care. Clean and disinfect high-touch surfaces. For more information, please visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. Thank you.
Hello, and welcome back to a brand new episode. I am sitting in my room with the window wide open, so the birds are chirping in the background. And like I said on a previous episode, that's just something we all need right now. So I'm not in my recording studio, aka my closet, where the sound quality is amazing, by the way. I love it in there. I just need some nature vibes. I haven't been out of the house in a couple days, and I've been working really hard. And to be honest with you, this whole situation, what's going on in the world right now, my anxiety is just like out of control. My mind will not shut off. And I am suffering from insomnia, which I haven't had in a really long time. So that's difficult. So if you're here with me, like only on a few hours of sleep, let me know. But thank God for my iced coffee. That's all I have to say. Last night I actually did record this episode, and I ran into all these technical difficulties, and my phone has been acting weird, and my file got deleted. Don't ask me how. It's only happened one other time, and I know I do need a new phone. I'm just like, is really now the time? I don't know. So I have to figure that out. But thank you so much for being here. And if you are looking to launch a podcast, if you are looking for more podcast information, this is the show that you are going to want to tune into, because this is kind of like Podcasting 2.0. This is an advanced class for you. So get your favorite notebook and your pen and get ready to take lots of notes. And you know where to find me online at The Happy Workaholic. If you have any questions whatsoever, send them my way. But I am here to share what I've done in the past, what I'm doing now, what's worked, what hasn't worked. And honestly, I'm doing this because my whole business is podcasting based now, and that was never a thing. So 3 years ago, when I launched my show, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I went to Google, I went to YouTube, I had hours just researching and figuring out like how the hell to launch a podcast. And then now here I am having a full-blown podcasting business with almost 20 shows under my belt. It's absolutely insane. I feel that especially now, if I have this platform, I need to use it to teach others how to do what they want to do. If I have this gift to offer, then I need to be sharing my story and how I did it and just teaching you all the things, right? So just so you know, if this is your first time to this episode, or if you're not familiar with my other podcasting episodes, I actually do have a whole library for you. It's all free, completely free. And I call it On the House. So if you visit thehappyworkaholic.com, click on the house, and you'll see a whole bunch of episodes there. So episode 115 is actually how to launch a podcast, and that is where I'm sharing my tips, my strategies, and so much more. Episode 155 is how to market and monetize your podcast. And then episode 173 is a very in-depth Q&A episode. So a lot of people had sent me questions and I answered them thoroughly. I mean, I remember recording that episode and I had pages and pages of notes because they're commonly asked questions. So I wanted to be as thorough as possible. Today's episode, I'm going over a little bit more of a launch plan and how you can really turn your show into a business and how you need to get organized. Just like with any other business, you have to be organized. You have to have systems in place. I'm not saying do what I'm doing, although my method, if I'm looking at it right now, is pretty ideal. I'm just saying. And if you want to actually see it, it is on my Instagram stories under my March highlights, but we can always FaceTime. We can do a Zoom. I can show you my process because sometimes it's hard to hear rather than, it's easier to see it. I have a whole color-coded highlighting system. I have a year-at-a-glance calendars. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lists. But this is how it has to go for me. This is my system. This is my process. So I'm just sharing what works, and you can take my ideas and make them yours and implement how you get focused and how you can get organized and just make up your own system for whatever works. And if you want to keep listening to the show and you don't have a podcast, these systems that I've created work for any other business as well. You just have to be organized. And if you don't know that about me, I'm the queen bee in organization. I'm just letting you know right now. I have so many tips and tricks. I feel like, well, honestly, I was like this my whole life. But then when I was working on yachts for years, that just took it to a whole nother level. So yeah, there's that. Okay, so I want to start off by saying that when you launch a podcast, you can't just expect people to come find it. You have to put in the work, just like with anything else, right? So if you're going to launch a show, you need to have a launch plan. You need to have things in place where people are excited to see what you have coming up next. Otherwise, it's a waste of time. Time is money. You could be writing scripts, you can be recording, you can be producing, you can be interviewing guests, but then when it comes time to launch, it's like crickets. And I feel like that just shouldn't be the case. If you're spending so much time and creative energy and just everything into your show that you're like so excited about, you need to have a launch plan. Are you going to launch a program to just no one? Just to crickets? Like you're going to start telling your audience, start telling your friends, your family, everybody, like you're so excited about it, right? Well, you need to do the same thing for your podcast. I always tell my clients it takes about 2 weeks to get approved on all these platforms. Sometimes it only takes 24 hours. Sometimes it takes a month and a half. It really depends on which platform and how many people are working. I feel like now that everybody's remote, so much work is getting done so much quicker, to be honest with you, because I'm submitting a lot of shows to be launched over this next month, specifically 3, almost 4 shows, probably 3, but it's just crazy. So in the podcasting world, things are getting done a lot smoother. Like the process is smoother, more streamlined, and a lot quicker. So that's good for us, right? So if you're looking to launch a podcast, my friends, now is the time. Anyway, I didn't want to get sidetracked, but I did want to say that you do need a launch plan. So whether it is pushing out your email list or launching to a private Facebook group or doing Instagram and Facebook Lives, telling your YouTube audience, whatever the case may be, whatever audience you have, even if you're not visible online, you have an email list. If you don't create one on MailChimp, it's super simple. If you need graphics design, go to Canva. It's super simple. These are free tools that you can utilize and let the world know. And then your next question is probably, how are people going to find my show? SEO, titles, keywords, very, very specific, show notes. People are searching for content. Prime example, all of my episodes having to do with PTSD, trauma, mental health, how to fire your doctor are the highest downloads yet. It's insane. People are looking for this type of information. So if you are putting it in the title, if you're putting it in the show notes, people are searching, they will find you. But you also have to, again, put in the work so that you are repurposing your shows. You can't just post the show once and hope everybody's going to listen. You need to repurpose your content. I use audio bursts for all my videos. If you see my videos online with my graphics, the larger videos, they're for Facebook, they're for my YouTube channel. I use audio burst. Audio burst is a program that I have with Blueberry, who is my host. Now, if this terminology is not, if you're not used to this terminology, what Blueberry is, it's basically like WordPress. So if you need to design a website, you go to Wix or WordPress, any of those, Kajabi. Well, Blueberry is the host for podcasts. So that's how I get my show syndicated to all these platforms. They have the best dashboard. If you guys are looking to launch a show and you want a free month off, let me know, because I have a code. Well, it's actually on my website, so you can just grab it there if you want. But let me know if you have any questions first, because there's a trick that you don't want to waste your free month that I'd love to share with you. But also, Audio Burst works with Blueberry. So that's how I have access to that. When I do my videos on Instagram, that's different. I use the Headliner app, but I also do I used to use a couple other apps, but I feel like Headliner I went back to recently, and I really like that it takes me 2 seconds to do. I do need to start outsourcing a lot of things very soon. Well, that was the plan. So right now I'm kind of hesitant to do it. So I am just still running my show and all the other shows myself, but I would never be able to do it if I wasn't organized. So I want to get into that as well. So when you are in the middle of a show, like you've already launched, you're a couple episodes in, whether it's a solo show or you want to have guests, you want to have notes, you want to be prepared. I lose my mind when I don't have notes in front of me, and that's because I'll go off on some other topic and I'll totally forget what I'm telling you guys. And that's not a good show, right? I have to be organized here just like I am everywhere else. When it comes time to bringing on guests, you want to be organized with guests as well. I have a lot of things that are saved in notes on my phone, in the Books app on my phone, which is where you can store all your PDFs, and then also on my desktop, and it's emailed to me, so I can scroll through my flagged emails if I can't find it in Books for some reason. Everything I do is always backed up 3 times, and I need it in 3 places, so it's either written down on my phone, on my desktop, whatever. So when it comes time to pitch guests, I have a very specific strategy that I do that, and that is just my system. And then it's color coded. I have checks and highlights, so when and things circled. So with my series, when I'm looking at, for example, I chose this life series, I have the guest name, I have an E and an R. When I've emailed them, I circle it. When we've rescheduled a recording, which I use Calendly for all of my scheduling now, which is a lifesaver, and I circle the R for recording. When the show is produced, I highlight it in yellow. When it has aired, it's sharpied through with black. That is my system. It's kind of hard to explain while I'm recording because I'm looking at it right now, but you are not. So if you want to see my exact system and how I set everything up, just reach out to me on Instagram. You can find me at The Happy Workaholic, and we could do a little video, and I could literally just show you so that you can either use my tips or like make it your own and be creative. So when I pitch a guest, I have a strategy. I either already have their email or I send them a message, then I have their email, and then I need to send them my media kit. That's priority. You need to have a media kit. And if you're not familiar with what one is, you can basically just do a one sheet in Word or Canva and put your social media stats, your personal bio, a headshot, your contact information, and what the show is all about. If you're pushing out a series, like I have 3 or 4 right now, well, the 4th May, I'm not sure about that, but you need to have everything in place so that it explains to the guest what they can expect from being on your show. Like, why do they want to be a part of your show? I cannot even tell you how many, well, I can tell you hundreds every week I get pitched. People want to come on the show. What they have is not for you guys. It just doesn't make sense. I'm not going to have a guest that's coming on to talk about like woodworking or like automobiles, because that's not what you want to hear. And I know that because you're telling me, and I know that from the downloads. So that, just to have a guest on, it doesn't make sense. Podcasts are very specific when it comes to content. Mine happens to be organized in multiple series. That's the way that it's easier for you guys to find the episodes. That's easier for me to bring on guests and why they're here. So I have the I Chose This Life series, which features female and male entrepreneurs now, which I'm so excited about. That just relaunched season 3 last week. And then I have the professional patient, which includes other professional patients such as myself, medical experts, caregivers, nurses, holistic healers. Then we have the Leverage Your LinkedIn series, which other LinkedIn experts are coming on. And I have another one I'm contemplating whether or not I want to do. So that's how I have to be organized. I have it broken down per series. If you just have one show and you don't take it to the next level like I have, it doesn't matter. You still have to have the same process. You need to have a media kit. You need to have your information. It's literally just a basic one sheet of what they can expect. Once you pitch someone and you get their email, you're going to send them your media kit and you're going to send them a link to record. Now, what I do is I always ask them if they want to hop on a quick call first, because I love to hear their voice before we actually start recording, or we send back voice memos back and forth, and then I feel comfortable having them on the show. And then excuse me, allergy season on top of everything else that's going on in the world. Then I feel more comfortable, having a longer conversation, which is usually 45 minutes to an hour, to be honest with you. So you want to kind of get to know the person, watch their Instagram stories, come up with a strategy on what questions you want to ask them. I have very specific questions on some series, and some it's just I go with the flow. I don't even want questions. I just want it to be a great, amazing conversation that I share with you guys. So once I email them with my media kit for the show, they see the stats, they see what they can get out of it for themselves, they see previous guests, they see the content that I'm putting out. It's their choice. It might not be a good fit for them once I send them my media kit, and that's totally fine. But that's saving me time, because sending an email with an attachment takes 2 seconds, because again, the email I already have drafted. You have to make things readily available, like I said, in notes, saved to my desktop. So I have ongoing lists of guests that I want to pitch. When it comes time when I have the time, I sit down, I block time. Okay, I'm going to take this time to pitch the rest of the guests I have on my list. I literally copy and paste the email and add their name because it's already done. It's basically like a Word doc, and I copy and paste, let them know, here's the link. But then I always say, let me know if you want to hop on a call before we record. And then the link to schedule our recording is already there. There's no more back and forth. It's just one DM, one email, one recording, share the link when the show goes live. 4 things. So simple. So when it comes time to having everything done, what you want to do is, again, media kit. Have your emails already done. Change the name. Have everything in notes. Have your media kit in your books app. So if you're running around like we used to be able to do, right now I'm on day 13 of self-isolation. But, if I'm normally running around San Diego, I'm at the beach, I can do all of this while I'm on my phone. Everything is in my phone. So whatever you have on your computer, have it on your phone. So if you're at the market with your kids and maybe not at this time, but I'm saying previously and hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, if you're at the park, if you're at the store and you have your kids with you and you've been waiting for this guest and they answer you, you can email them your media kit. You can send the proper email. You can send your schedule link because it's all on your phone. 2 seconds, done. Boom, boom, boom. Nobody wants to waste each other's time, especially when you want to take your show and bring it into a complete business. Now, one of the questions people ask me all the time, how am I going to make money from a podcast? You can literally start making money from your show from your very first episode when you launch. How can you do that? You are driving traffic to your website and your programs. You are sending affiliate links out with your show notes. People are buying your products. Then you can run ads. I'm very specific with my ads. I don't have a network working with me at this moment. And I have a very specific price. And I created that price and came up with it based on my time because I repurpose my shows. So if you're looking for advertisement and you want a commercial spot on my show, I, again, send you a media kit. Is it worth it? Is this something that you want to be a part of? Because it's not for everybody. Does your brand even fit with my audience? I mean, if I'm pitching them, I already know it does. But if somebody reaches out, they obviously have been watching me and listening to the show, so they know it fits. But sometimes at the end of the day, something else comes up and they have another product and it just doesn't really match with you guys listening. So I don't bring that brand on board. In the case that it does, they come on board and I write a script for them. Sometimes they give me an entire script and I just read it. Sometimes I write the whole script based on the content that they send to me. So their about page, their mission statement, their products, whatever it is. I write the script. I then record it. I send it to them for approval. Once that's complete, I pop it into the episodes. Their information lives in the show notes. It's not just a one-shot deal with me. I also repurpose that episode on LinkedIn as blogs. It goes to Pinterest. It goes to Twitter. It goes to Medium, blog posts. It goes on my website, literally all my social media channels. It sits on YouTube. So for the one price, they're getting that commercial like 10 times because I'm consistently repurposing all of my episodes. And I do that because I want to. I don't have to do any of this. I feel that as another small business owner that we need as many eyes and ears to our products for. You never know who's watching and listening. I say this all the time. So that's why I want to repurpose my episodes. I also get a lot more downloads. This is how you, again, are consistently showing up and repurposing your shows and building your brand, aka your new podcast, your show. If it has nothing to do with your brand and your business and it's a personal show, that's even better. You want to consistently be sharing your episodes so that all of your friends and everybody online and people who are following you they want to, they watch your Instagram stories all the time, right? So why aren't they listening to your podcast? So you need to have certain things in place, like a content scheduler, where you have everything organized. Again, I do this in my planner every day of the week. My email list, my newsletter goes out to my email list on Wednesdays. My shows are Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have LinkedIn blogs. That's what people are known. That's what I'm known for. That's what people can expect from me. Sometimes I'm late. The world is a crazy place right now, and my schedule has been crazy. So I'm trying to, I have recording days every single day. I'm recording, and now everything's getting moved around, which is totally fine. But you have to adjust, and I'm really good working on the fly, and I'm really good working in extreme, crazy situations. Kind of thrive on that. But again, you have to reschedule everything before, during, and after, to be honest with you. So it's a lot of extra work, but at the end of the day, it's worth it because you're going to be so happy with the results, whether it's your guest or your own show or whatever the case may be. So that is the organizational part. Now, with the list, I said I had a lot of lists. So basically, I have a yearly planner. I have all of my lists with the guests and then that system. But I also have a production, audio, and notes schedule. I have PR and media schedule. I have, what's the other one? Shows I'm on, shows I personally pitch. So I'm a guest, because you always want to build your own audience for yourself, right? So you want to start sharing that you also have a show, like podcast guest swap. And then, brands I'm looking to pitch. So I have all these lists, same system. I have checks and bullets and highlights and Sharpies, and that's my system. And it's the same thing in my planner. Everything's color coded. So again, this might be confusing because I'm saying it as I'm looking at it and you can't see it. But if you want to see it, just let me know and I'll show you my whole entire system. But I also, excuse me, now I'm losing my voice. I also produce a lot of shows. That is my business. So I have a very large production schedule at the moment. And I'm also pushing out 3 shows a week. So I'm producing a lot of shows, more than 10 shows every week, which is nuts. But I love it. So I have to handle the production. I have to handle all the show notes. So I actually listen to all the shows twice. So thank God I love my clients and their voice because I listen to them all the time. And honestly, listening to yourself is even more annoying. But I love it because the content that they're putting out is just so good. So I really do enjoy it. But I listen to all the shows twice. Not every producer does this. Most producers just produce. I write the show notes and the scripts, and I do everything for the podcast with my clients. So I first listen to all of their episodes to write the show notes. I send it to them for approval. They say yes or no. They make any tweaks. That part's done. Then I produce the show. So I listen to it again and much longer because I'm doing the production for it. So every episode that goes out, I always listen to twice. And that's just how my brain works. I can't write good show notes when I'm producing. I've done it a couple times, but to write the best show notes, I can't. I really need to do it twice. So everything I do is multiplied times 2, which I know is a lot of work. And this is why I need to outsource, but that's how it goes out the best quality that it possibly can be, because I need to take my time to listen to everything, to listen to the full conversation, to get the right notes, because I want the listeners listening to my client's podcast to be scrolling through the show notes to see exactly what they can be listening to. And then when the production side comes in, I don't want any hiccups in the show. So, excuse me, which I should be editing all of this out today, but it's late, so I'm not. So what was I saying? Yeah, so I have to do all of their shows twice. That's just how my brain works. That's just my way of doing it. If somebody else can like bang it out in one shot, like that's great. I wish I could, but right now, like that's not how my brain works. So I have to do everything twice, which is fine because I love what I do. So those are the lists. That's how everything is there. And again, if you guys have any questions, if you want more free content throughout this whole crazy time of coronavirus, I just want to share as much as possible for free. So if you are looking for more information on podcasting, if you have a business that you need to bring online and a podcast can make money for you and you can share your story, which is number one, you need to check out On the House. So just go to thehappyworkaholic.com, click on the tab On the House, and so many episodes are there for you. This will also be added there. If you're looking for any LinkedIn information, if you are prepping for a new job that you might have to get, if you just want to get on there to start networking and pushing out some amazing content because now you actually have the time. I have an entire LinkedIn library available for free. I've been a LinkedIn coach for years now, and that is like my go-to platform. So if you are interested in that, just go to thehappyworkaholic.com and it will be there. Actually, I lied. It's not. The link is in my Instagram bio. So go to The Happy Workaholic on Instagram, click the link there, and both of them are there. So you'll see those links. That will bring you to the exact page on my site. That will make it a lot easier for you. So when it comes time to, okay, so what have we gone over? Launching, purposing, repurposing, guest swaps, marketing, audio burst, headliner, driving traffic to your site right away, showing up for your audience, offering what is happening to my, I wanted to hear the birds, but now it's just messing with my voice. Definitely should have had some more iced coffee before I hopped on the mic. But I really wanted to get this content out and just showing up. That's more important. I'm not about to edit this show like I edited my last show because I want the content to go out. I'm a human. I know that I'm really good with production. I know that I can do certain things a lot quicker than others, and some things I can't. And that's like the joy of life, right? Like we can all chip in, do our part, share our stories, and that's the best part of podcasting is sharing your story. That is why I started it. Why I needed to start it was because I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease and I needed to share my story so I could help other people, but I also needed money, and I needed it now because I didn't know when I was going to be blind and paralyzed, and you're probably still sick of hearing this story, but now I have this whole podcasting business because of it, because I just started. I just want to let you know that nothing is perfect and it will never be perfect. I can't even tell you. I mean, just last night, technical difficulties. Years ago, I was uploading my podcast as video files. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Now, I have almost 20 podcasts under my belt. It's absolutely nuts, but it's trial and error. I taught myself every single thing I know. I watched everything I possibly could. I just taught myself. That's all I can tell you is I just figured it out. And so now, my last episode was all about how to navigate through difficult storm. And I was talking about how, if you haven't listened to that yet, I was talking about how, I had to close the doors on businesses when I got sick and bring everything online. And it was a shitstorm. And I was so depressed and I was so anxious and I was so nervous. I didn't know what the hell was going to happen. I thought I was going to die. It was a scary situation. It's like I'm reliving it right now, but able to help others because I'm not reliving it at this moment, thank God. But now, because I've gone through that, I know I can help other people. So that's why I'm sharing a lot more of my personal story lately, because it's the same thing. I was scared. I lost everything. I had to figure it out. That's exactly why I recorded that show, because it's the same premise. And as much as I can consistently come on and record these shows for you, the more I can help other people. I'm running free commercials for people that are in need to promote their business. And that's just something I chose to do because it's really important to me. And I have a lot of friends that are in a place that never thought that they would be at. And if I have a platform where I can help other people, then you better believe I'm going to use it. So that's what I'm doing here. So again, going back to the podcasting episode here, if you do need help organizing how to launch, if you do need help learning how to monetize, if you do have a budget, I am doing coaching calls for half off this month, just hourly calls. We can hop on Zoom, FaceTime, whatever you want. But if you just want, that's coaching calls. But if you just want to see my system and what that whole situation looks like, it is on my Instagram stories, but we can just hop on a call and FaceTime really quick and I'll show you. So you can physically see what I've been talking about, because it's kind of hard to, again, it is saved under my Instagram highlights under March. But I don't show a lot of names because I don't want everybody knowing like who's coming up next on the show. I do want some surprise factor. So I do block that out. So I'd be more than happy to just hop on a quick call with you and show you like how everything is organized. So maybe once you see it, you can figure out your own system. And then if you are looking for somebody that is going to do the whole system for you, the done for you service, which is why I have almost 20 shows under my belt. I'm actually only taking on 3 more shows. I was thinking about doing something else in addition to this, but I can't because I just don't have the time, and I need a lot of time to create a whole new show. So throughout the rest of the year, I only am taking 3 spots, and that is a complete done for you service. So if you go to thehappyworkaholic.com, you can look on your podcast production and you will see everything listed out there. I literally get on a call. This is the process. I get on a call with you. You give me all of your ideas. I send you a couple Word docs. You fill them out so I can get inside of your head and start writing scripts for you. So I write the intro, the outro, the show description. We go back and forth. We make tweaks. We make it perfect. While I'm doing that, you're choosing music. Then, while I am designing the website that the show is going to live on, you are recording. And I've already taught you how to record, so that process is already done. We work together, but this is a done for you service. I basically take it over and put it all out. And then when the time comes, after the 4 shows, when you launch, I usually launch with 4 shows with all my clients. So there's a library for you guys to listen to when you launch. That's kind of what you want to do. You can have a trailer, you can have multiple episodes, you can launch with the whole series, you can push them out individually. But when it comes time to launch, you always want to have a couple episodes there. And it's really preference. I just always do 4. I think 4 is a good number. You could do 2, but I feel like when a new show comes out, you really want to like binge it, right? Like Netflix. I just binged a series called Self-Made that was inspired by Madam C.J. Walker. It was so good, you guys. It was on Sunday. I watched that because I couldn't sleep, so I binged the whole series. I'm actually excited to see since I do love creating series, I love watching them, and I'm excited to see who they come out with next, because honestly, I thought this was a movie. And then it said series 1, episode 1. And then I was still up because I was binging the series, but it stopped at episode 4. So I'm just assuming that each series, they're bringing on a new script, new show, actors, everything. It's going to be completely new with a new story. It's inspired by another new story. That's my guess. And LeBron James was an executive producer, and there were so many good actors. Oh my God, you guys have to watch this if you love like feel-good entrepreneurial stories. Oh my gosh, it was so good. That was called Self-Made, inspired by Madam C.J. Walker, I believe. It's on Netflix. It just came out, I think, a couple weeks ago. But anyway, I just want to briefly go over, what's the word I'm looking for? Besides the fact that the Done For You service, like, it's just like an incredible process. I love getting inside the heads of my clients and writing scripts for them. And sometimes it's hard to write like what you want. So it's just such a fun process. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. And I wanted to now just briefly go into microphones and tripods and recording and production and all of that. If you guys are looking for tools and products, just let me know. I have lists of them. They're not on my Amazon store. Oh my God, I really cannot talk today. They're not all on my Amazon store. I honestly haven't even had a second to do that. So just hit me up on Facebook and Instagram and I'll send you the links. Almost all of my clients have the same products, and they have their Amazon store set up. I don't. And they have all their products there. And I really like the travel lavalier mic that one of my clients got. I've had a Blue Yeti mic. It comes in so many colors on Amazon now. I went into a store and got mine. Mine's like a dark chrome blue. I have specific headphones. I have Bluetooth, and I have big ones, Calvin Harris DJ head ones. They're huge. Those headphones, and I use them every now and then because I get vertigo, and I've actually been getting it every freaking day this week. So the pressure from the headphones gives me vertigo, so I can't have them on fully. So I do a lot of work actually without them. And when it comes time to use software, ironically, yesterday I had one of my good friends with me, virtually, of course, and we were testing out new recording software. I had 2 different ones, and it was a shit show. So back to Zoom I go. And I'm kind of disappointed that it took so long to set up because I was really excited about it. It wasn't 1, it was 2. 1 had really good audio, but it just took way too long to set up. And the last thing you want to do when you have a guest is sitting there for 20 minutes trying to help them get on to record. That's just so unprofessional. It's just nobody has time to waste these days. And so Zoom is by far, in my opinion, the best to record on when you have a guest. So you use the audio. A lot of my clients have Facebook Lives. They record Zoom video and then they save the video file and then send me that. I turn it into audio. So that's like a little production, 2 cents for your production. But if you are looking for more information, whatever the case may be, like whatever step in podcasting you are, if you just want to hop on like a quick call, I do have yearly programs that are really low investment. I do have, but that's not something that you would really need for podcasting unless you did want somebody with you throughout the whole year to hold your hand and like help you with your own show. But in my opinion, you only need a couple coaching calls. You don't need me for the whole year. If you do want the Done For You service, which is called Your Podcast Production, check that out on my website. I would be more than happy to hop on a call with you and explain it further because there's actually a lot more I do need to add there. But the program's almost done. So I usually just tell people on a call, because my business right now is 90% referral based, which I'm extremely grateful for. So usually I don't even need to explain most of it. It just sells itself. But if you have questions and want to know specifics, we can absolutely hop on a call. I can explain the entire situation for you, how long it takes to launch, how long the process is, how you get the music. Like I have everything for you. It's all organized. And just like everything else, I have a whole system set in place so that everything is stress-free for you. And basically, I do all the work. That's why it's a Done For You service. And so if you want to learn how to do it yourself, that's where the coaching comes in. And I've coached a number of clients, and now I'm working with them again, which is so amazing. I have a lot of clients that have come back for other things, which is so grateful. So it's like my little happy workaholic family, which I'm so grateful for, and I love my clients so much. And I just want to do the best work and create the best content for them, for their own audiences. The podcasts that I'm producing right now are all over the place. They are so different. And some of them have a lot of things in common, but their shows are completely different, which is amazing. So if you want to check those shows out, you can just click on the portfolio on my website and you'll see all those shows. There's 4 that are coming out over the next 1 to 2 months. Actually, 1 to 2 months, I'll probably have 6. But I've been working with a number of clients that have yet to launch. So we're still, sometimes things come up and a podcast can take a really long time to push out the content, or you can bang it out and it's out in a month. It's totally up to you and your time frame. So I'm just here and I'm ready when you are, is basically what I have to say about that. But today's show, I wanted to kind of give you more in-depth look at turning your podcast into a business and how can you, get more organized and get everything more strategic so that you can eventually make more money if you're not, or learn how to make more money. And when you want to learn how to pitch brands, there's certain things you have to have in place as well. Just like the emails when you're pitching your guests, you have to have the same emails and media kits and notes ready in your phone and on your desktop when it comes time to pitching brands. How do you pitch them? What do you put? How do you contact them? All that stuff. That's all available in my coaching and other shows as well. And that's just my process. Everybody is different. This is what I've created. This is what works for me. This is what I share with all of my clients. And I just like to keep things short and sweet and strategized and, in place so that they work. This is what's working for me now. I've done a number of things that did not work. So that's why I'm sharing what works. So again, if you guys have any other questions, please reach out to me. I'm always here. If you want to check out all the free information and just take this completely over by yourself and you're like, okay, I feel confident. I'm good. Kelly taught me everything I need to know. I'm taking my notes. You can always refer back. You can message me. Seriously, guys, everything you need to know is available on the house, on my website, thehappyworkaholic.com. How to launch, how to market, how to monetize, how to be strategic. This one's going there. How to turn it into a business, how to really profit, how to pitch guests, how to pitch brands, everything. And then lastly, if you want to see the process that I've been talking about, just let me know and we can hop on a quick call and I can show you so that maybe you can go out and get a calendar and mimic what I just did. A lot of my friends are doing it now and my clients, which is so funny, but I love it. And they do different color highlights. And I'm very specific with my highlights and my colors because when I look at my month at a glance, I know exactly what's happening by the color. That's just how my brain works. So you just do what feels best for you and how you're going to remember and how you feel less stressed. Because at the end of the day, life is short, you guys. So you might as well just do something that you feel good creating and just share it with the world. So I hope that you enjoyed this episode. Again, birds are chirping. Some people are actually outside. The sun is out, thank God. I know it's snowing on the East Coast, which is nuts. But I just wanted to share a lot more content here because I am adding this to On the House so that for those of you that are looking to launch a show, if you need all the information, I'm trying to save you time. Our time is worth money. Our time is more valuable now than ever. And if you just need to binge some episodes and learn how to launch your damn show, On the House is for you. It's completely free, and then I'm always available, so you can bounce questions off me, and I am here for you. So I hope you guys, again, enjoyed this episode, and I will be back on Wednesday with a brand new guest. I can't wait for you to hear from. And then on Friday, I will have another solo show. And then if you are in need of work or if you are in need of promoting your brand, your product, your service, let me know. Click the justforuscommunity.org button on my site, and then you can fill out your information. I can pop you into commercial. And if you guys have any questions, you know where to find me on Instagram at thehappyworkaholic, and I will talk to you again soon. Your time is so valuable, and I really appreciate you carving out a little piece of your day to listen to today's episode. If you liked this one, please share it with someone who you feel needs to hear this message. And don't forget to tag me at The Happy Workaholic on Facebook and Instagram so I can feature you on my stories. Listening on Apple Podcasts? I would love it if you would leave me a review on today's show. Your input means so much and also helps me create more of the content you'll love. Want to continue today's conversation? You can join us in the Happy Workaholic Network Facebook group. Simply answer the questions and you're in. For more information on myself and to get the latest in business, LinkedIn, organizing, and podcasting news, sign up to receive my weekly newsletter at thehappyworkaholic.com. I hope that your day continues to be happy, healthy, positive, and productive, and I'll talk to you again soon.